Mahindra and Mahindra, Suyash.
So Mahindra and Mahindra came out with a good set of numbers. It did beat the street's expectations on both profit and revenue front. Now profit, Shweta, almost doubled at 97.6% year-on-year rise to 2,774 crores compared to 1400 about 1400 crores in the year ago period. Now this was on the back of a rich product mix, upbeat growth in the SUV segment, also the increase in the average selling price of its offerings, and a softening in the commodity prices helped Mahindra post such a massive beat. Revenue jumped about 23%. Now these are standalone numbers, mind you. So 23% jump in the standalone revenue for Mahindra and Mahindra. The figure came in at about 24,368 crore versus 19,813 crores. In the year ago period, the revenue figure was about 20,000 crore, and it is much ahead of expectations. The street had expected about a 20% rise in revenue, so we saw a 23% rise. So on both net profit and revenue front, Mahindra has exceeded street's expectation. And the stock also reacted positively, but saw some profit booking, as was the case with most auto stocks, and ended about 0.4% lower in today's session.
How are you reading, Avinash, the net profit rise of 97.6%? Those are phenomenal numbers.
Yeah, I think numbers for Mahindra and Mahindra have come in, ahead of street expectations. I think what is important to note is that, on a standalone basis, both the revenue and the EBITDA has increased significantly. In fact, one good part is that, in their electric vehicle business, Temasek is going to take a large strategic stake. In fact, this factor is also, a big positive for the company, because on the electric vehicle side, the company has mentioned that the next 2 years are going to be very important for them. My sense is that both the auto business and the tractor business are going to show, slightly better performances, considering the fact that now the Indian economy has grown significantly. We expect better numbers, from the agri sales also, looking at the good monsoon. So overall, I think, we could see that FY24, you could see an earnings growth of at least 18 to 20% compared to what they reported last year. So I think even at these levels, despite the fact that the stock has seen a little bit of profit booking, I would believe that, the fair value could be anywhere between 1600 to 1650 over the next, say, 12 to 15 odd months.
All right. And the Mahindra and Mahindra story, in fact, we discussed just this morning. Mahindra and Mahindra, in fact, Tesmac is set to infuse about 1,200 crore rupees. M&M going big on its EV plans. Currently has a rich product mix, but is hoping that by 2030, which is the deadline that everybody set for themselves, their EV portfolio will be approximately 20 to 30%. Avinash, would it be right to say that EV is going to be a major driver for all auto stocks, all auto companies in years to come?
Yeah, definitely. See, I think
looking at Eicher Motors as well. Eicher Motors also planning to now, and they came out with their results yesterday. In fact, very good numbers for Eicher as well.
No, I think as far as Eicher Motors is concerned, I think the introduction of Harley Davidson by Hero Motor or typically Triumph by Bajaj Auto does not seem to have impacted their sales. And I think the management also commented very clearly that they would be protecting their market share very strongly. As far as Mahindra is concerned, I think, the electric vehicle business is going to see a significant ramp up in the next, say, 2 to 3 years. I think with a lot of money coming in this business, they're going to obviously do a lot of marketing, a lot of new product launches. And I think the markets are also looking forward for such products. So I think electric vehicles is now going to be a theme which is going to get tracked here. So that's going to happen with almost every large manufacturer, whether it is Maruti, Tata Motors, Mahindra. Almost every manufacturer is gunning for strong growth here.
Avinash, Mahindra stock reacted positively to the earnings. It moved upwards, but then we saw profit booking in the last hour or so. Now, what I want to understand is that, is it just profit booking, or are we missing something, at least if you're looking at the numbers? Essentially, what I'm trying to ask you is, why did the stock price fall?
Avinash, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I think what my colleague Suyash here wanted to ask is, what led to the stock price falling?
Despite such a good set of numbers.
Okay, despite such a good set of numbers, my colleague Suyash wanted to understand, why did the stock end up in red? Good numbers there, good margins, great profit. what really happened? Is there more to it than what we are reading in numbers?
No, I think see normally when the results are announced, I think in today's times, the numbers are hardly relevant because the stock price has started moving ahead of the result numbers. So I think now since the numbers have been out, there is no further positive surprise. So I think this is a fact with almost every company. Whenever the results are declared, we find that some amount of profit booking is done by some participants, and obviously then the stock settles down. We'll have to wait for the management commentary and the conference call, which is going to happen today at 6:30. And after that, possibly in the coming week, you could see another uptick, because markets are always going to be impulsive. They react very strongly and react very quickly to numbers, and obviously some profit booking happens. But if the management commentary in today's con call is very encouraging and some growth numbers are shared, then I think you'll see a good uptick in the coming week.
So for an investor, as you just said, the analyst con call will be is later today. What are some of the things that we should track?
No, I think first of all, on the volume growth kind of guidance for the automotive business and for the tractor business is very important. Secondly, on their electric vehicle strategy, what kind of investments is the company going to make over the next, say, 2 years? And thirdly, the impact of the monsoon. The monsoon have come late, but they have come in now with a strong vigor. So I think what kind of impact would it have it on their tractor business? Because since they are market leaders, will it actually lead to a much better growth than what they had earlier anticipated? Because earlier, Mahindra was talking about a mid-teen kind of growth for their tractor business. But now since the monsoons are good, hopefully if this number becomes 12-13% in a year, then I think what kind of impact it would have on the volumes and the profitability. Because mind you, the tractor business is much more profitable than the automotive business. So I think all these numbers will be very importantly monitored by the analyst community today, and we'll be waiting for the management comments here.
All right, those of course are the big earnings that we're tracking this afternoon. And what other earnings are expected to come out later in the day, Suyash?
Shweta, one of the key earnings that we will be tracking is, of course, Britannia Industries. Apart from that, Alembic Pharmaceuticals, Fortis Healthcare, Bharat Dynamics, Bharat Heavy Electricals, and Gujarat State Petronet will also.
And delivery.
Delivery is also, the stock was up about 5%.
About 5%.
Eagerly awaited the results.
All right, stocks are eagerly awaited. Avinash, thanks very much. Suyash, thank you very much for all your inputs on that interesting, important story.